An emotional speech in court during the sentencing of a former police officer. Ken Bluew learned his fate, and the mother of the murder victim is getting some closure tonight. Ken Bluew will spend the rest of his life in prison without parole in Jenny Webb's murder.
And today, as you just heard there, her family got a chance to address him and the court before sentencing. TV5's Liz Gilardi joins us live in Saginaw with more. Liz?
Sam and Katie, his police badge stripped, dressed in an orange jumpsuit, Ken Bluew will spend the rest of his life in prison. Jenny Webb's family was in the courtroom today. The court was packed as her mom gave an emotional speech.
My heart and my life has been ripped apart.
Dawn Webb told the court she carried this letter in her head for more than a year. Her daughter and unborn grandson murdered at the hands of Ken Bluew. She called him a coward for not facing his responsibility as the baby's father, and scolded him for tarnishing the police badge, committing the crime while on duty as a Buena Vista Township police officer.
You were a policeman. Someone who we taught to respect and trust. She considered you her friend.
Bluew received life in prison without the possibility of parole. He shook his head several times during the sentencing. The judge said he could have excluded half the evidence and it still would have been enough for a conviction. He also exceeded the sentencing guidelines on charges involving the unborn baby.
You committed what accounts to first-degree premeditated murder of the baby in this case as well.
Dawn Webb called his wife very brave for her speech before the court. His family is glad this chapter is over, but he wonders if life in prison is enough.
Personally, I wish we had death penalty in Michigan and get rid of them altogether. The man does not deserve to suck air as far as I'm concerned.
Dawn Webb hopes her daughter's murder haunts Bluew every day for the rest of his life, a life he'll spend in prison.
An evil monster is the only words that I can think of for you. Thankfully, you won't be able to hurt anyone else.
The judge handed down life in prison without the possibility of parole for the charge of first-degree murder, and then he exceeded the sentencing guidelines for the charge involving that unborn baby. 65 to 100 years in prison. Now that's important in case this case goes to an appeal. And also the judge said he received 48 letters in regards to the sentencing. Today it's the most he's ever received. Bluew will be turned over to the Department of Corrections for transport and placement. It's unclear where he will end up at this time. Reporting live and local in Saginaw County, Liz Gilardi, WNEM TV5.
All right, Liz, thank you. And here's a timeline of that murder. Ken Bluew killed Jenny Webb in August of last year near a police gun range. He was formally charged 1 month later. In October, a jury convicted him of first-degree murder, and today he was sentenced to life without parole.